Welcome to Here's My Thing, everybody. My name is Frankie Salazar, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the recent disappearances and child abductions in the state of Virginia and how ice cream trucks and the recent horror release titled Weapons may have something to do with it. So just to start this off, the TikTok sleuths and conspiracy theorists alike have flooded the internet to shed light on a very scary mass abduction in the state of Virginia towards children. Now, according to reports from the Virginia State Police, from August 3rd to August 9th, so in a 7-day period, 7 days and nights, a total of 88 children were reported missing in the state. And people were enraged at the fact that there seemed to be very little, if any, Amber Alerts put out whatsoever. And it seemed as though the police departments were willfully neglecting to actually investigate what was going on with these missing children. Now, some speculate that this is at the hand of the cartels for children exploitation and even the government, and leading some people to even say that it's Republicans in particular that are leading the charge in child abductions. And I just, please give me a break. Why does when things happen to children it has to be such a partisan issue? I don't know. But it doesn't help that there are also thousands of videos surfacing the internet, hitting TikTok and all social media platforms alike, showcasing that after all of these children go missing, that there are ice cream trucks driving around ominously, with their music on and everything like that, at crazy hours of the night. We're talking between midnight and 4 a.m. These ice cream trucks are driving around all over the state of Virginia and all over the country, really. And it's very, very strange. And it's leading people to believe that these abductions are being executed or assisted and covered up by the drivers and the owners of these ice cream trucks. And all of that stuff aside, for those of you who are horror fans like me, you'll know that you just saw the movie Weapons, where it entails this, it takes you down this story of these missing children at this elementary school. And before we continue any further, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that there are going to be spoilers, so spoiler alert a little bit for those of you who haven't seen it. It follows the story of this little boy who attends school one day in this elementary school class where I want to say it's 17 children at 2:14 or 2:17 a.m. or something, all run out of their houses, caught on their Ring cameras, and just disappear into the night with no trace, leaving police stumped, the school stumped, all of the kids' parents stumped. I mean, it was absolutely crazy, and it's just a little too convenient that a movie about children who disappear in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. when all of these ice cream trucks seemingly are just driving around would happen at the same time that it hits the mainstream media that 88 children are reported missing in Virginia. But I'm here to rest everybody's minds and rest assured that it is not all as bad as it seems for a couple of reasons. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some statistics now. So according to the Virginia State Police, out of those 88 children that went missing, only 8 are actually still actively missing as of the 20th of August. So just a few days ago as of filming this. And funny enough, that number 88, is actually 10 children less than the state's weekly average of 98 kids. So it's interesting that this would make headlines all of a sudden, considering that it's literally less than the statistical average of how many kids actually go missing in the state of Virginia. And the reason that Virginia seems to be the worst as far as child abductions, it says here, is because by law, they have to count every single person that's either run away or actually is missing as missing on their books. Whereas a lot of other states tend to have certain criteria that have to be met, like they have to be of a certain age, they have to be missing for a certain amount of time. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't agree with that. I like the fact that Virginia kind of has it together and they're like, well, we're going to actually go ahead and, classify these people as missing because, as we all know, time is of the essence. I think there's some scary statistic out there that it's after 48 hours or something, these people, children particularly, will not be found dead or alive, and that is such a frightening statistic. But they also say that there's little to no evidence that the ice cream trucks are part of the, quote, grand scheme to kidnap kids either. Now, here's my thing on the whole topic. Like I said just a minute ago, time is of the essence when it comes to missing people, so I'm glad that these police departments and the state of Virginia, by law, have to count every single person, whether they know that they ran away or not, are actually missing. Because, like we said a minute ago, 48 hours, it looks grim for people. In 48 hours, you could be halfway across the country driving. You could be across the border. I mean, it is absolutely terrifying when you really think about it. Like, what happens to these kids when they go missing? And tens of thousands go missing every year. A lot of them are brought back to their homes. But what about the ones that aren't? You know what I mean? That is a really big, scary crisis that the United States of America seems to just neglect as a whole. Now, I'm not going to go down the partisan BS with you people right now because everything is a Republican's fault and I just can't stand it anymore. But or at least that's the narrative that we're all trying to push right now. But regardless of whose fault it is or whatever, who's in office, no matter who's in office or whatever it is, a lot of these major cities, New York City, Vegas, my hometown where we literally film on air, places that I visit in the urban downtown and strip area, when, you know, all of these alleys and these big suburban cities where it's like these are hubs for child trafficking. And particularly the further south, when you go down the border, that we already know that there's a multi-billion-dollar market for the exploitation of minors, particularly in these hotspot cities like, you know, San Diego, south of the border, Las Vegas, El Paso, New York City, all of this stuff where all of this crazy stuff is happening. And I'm glad to know that it's not as bad as it looked in the state of Virginia. You know, out of those 88, only 8 are actively missing. And I pray every single day that they are able to be relocated to their families safely and healthily and all that good stuff. But they say that there's no evidence that the ice cream trucks had any play into this. Now, we know as a whole, like as just humans in America, that the police have a tendency to do lackluster, for if we're using a nice term, lackluster investigations, assuming they investigated at all. I do find it very strange that they're just going to go ahead and outwardly say, oh, there's no evidence that ice cream trucks. Did anybody actually go and look at this stuff? If an ice cream truck rolled up right now as I'm filming, what time is it? I'm filming at 11:51 p.m. If I heard ice cream truck music, I'm lighting the place up, okay? Like that ice cream truck, that driver is not. I'm shooting out every single tire. I'm breaking down each door, and I am checking every single crevice of that truck, and I'm tying the driver somewhere in my mom's garage here where we're filming, as we all know, and taking a golf club to them like on some Tiger Woods wife until they tell me what the hell they're doing at midnight in my neighborhood. And they tend to be near elementary schools and neighborhoods where children tend to frequent, you know, walking and stuff like that. So I definitely think that that needs to be looked into a lot more. And people are just going ahead and putting all of these sightings on TikTok. So go ahead and take a look at a couple videos that I put up right now in a compilation.
Tell me why I'm just leaving the gym. I'm just leaving the gym. It's 1 in the morning. I walk out to this shit. Bro, you cannot make this shit up, bro.
All of those scary videos aside, let's go ahead and talk about the movie a little bit. So we already covered just a minute ago that the movie takes place, I don't even know where it takes place, but I know that the main theme of the movie is child abduction, because this woman, it almost seemed as though she was trying to use them and their spirit and their souls and all that stuff to be youthful or whatever. Like I said, this was some crazy psycho witch bitch. So I don't really know what to think about it, but I do think that it was an actually, all of this crazy stuff aside, for all my horror fans out there, hey, I want to talk to you guys for a second, because I thought that Weapons was actually one of the better horror movies since Longlegs that I've seen, and Talk to Me that came out a few years ago as well. Those are kind of the 3 that I've really liked recently. The Evil Dead franchise and the Smile franchise and all the other, and the Megan franchise, please. The second they start using these like weird AI, CGI, stupid, corny, demonic, like, it's just corny to me. So when I saw this movie, I was actually very excited, and it was very well written. I was a little confused about where Aunt Gladys came from and what her motives were and everything, and why these children in particular. But moral of the story is that 17 kids go missing at 2 a.m. disappear from this elementary school, and people, if it wasn't for a father, because again, the police departments were neglecting the children in the movie, okay, hashtag real life. They didn't even need to make a movie about that because it's real life. If it wasn't for one of the fathers relentlessly doing his own investigation, they would have never found them. And it's all too convenient that this stuff about the 88 kids hits the mainstream media right around the time that this movie and these ice cream trucks are spotted in the general public. So those are my thoughts on that. At the end of the day, this has been Here's My Thing, starring Frankie Salazar. As always, I would love to hear your things, so please let me know what your thoughts are on the Virginia missing children, ice cream truck, weapons, horror movie situation is. I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you think that the ice cream trucks have more of a play in it than they're saying? Do you think that the police did a lackluster job? Do you know more information that maybe I'm not giving in this video that I would love to know about? So if there's anything that you want to get off of your chest, I am all ears and excited to hear it. So please let me know. And I will see you guys in the next one.